Seen it with my own eyes, I would get it otherwise without the luxury of leaving. The touch and feeling of free is untangible technically, is something we got to believe in. Connect the cause and the facts, one foot in front of the next. This is the start of a journey. And my mind is already gone in the fear of the unknown. Somehow this doesn't concern me. And you can stand right there if you want, but I'm going on.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus, all we need is somebody to lean on. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus, all we need is somebody to lean on. What will we do when we get old? Will we walk down the same road? Will you be there by my side?
We are in Atlanta, Georgia, the home nest for the Hawks. It's an interconference matchup right here. Welcome to our 2K Sports broadcast of the NBA on a Monday afternoon. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Tip-off goes to the Clippers. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for the Clippers right now, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Mbah a Moute into the three, the small forward. Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't a top point guard in the league. Even now, you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
And here is Paul. After Kyle Korver hitting the three. And it's Paul penetrating. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
And stolen by Jordan. It's stolen by Korver. Pass to Bazemore. For three. Mbah a Moute pulls it in.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
Bazemore misses. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, I had a chance to speak with head coach Doc Rivers. He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin, we'll see if they have what it takes.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Jordan the screen. And it's Paul penetrating. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle the defense.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy three-pointer.
It's stolen by Schroeder. For the finish, throws down the breakaway jam.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends. That's now 4 misses on their first 5 attempts. Still trying to find the rhythm and flow here offensively.
Korver, no luck. Clippers trail by 4. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, and Griffin slams it in.
That's a big boy dunk right there. Grown man sledgehammer dunk.
That was a violent attack on the rim.
Enough said on that one.
Now here's Schroeder. Horford the pass to Court. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Korver's got 6.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. Few would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
Shot clock at 3. And Baamute can't get it to go. Atlanta leading by 5. Here's Schroeder. Horford kicks to Millsap. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Chris Paul picks up that one.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clear.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. As you said, it was all about how they worked together as a team.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Now here's Rivers. Outside Pierce. Rivers dishes to Pierce. The three-pointer no good.
And, you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their roles superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move. Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
And it's Korver off the drive, and now it's a double-digit lead. Korver's got 8 points.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put
their first time out here.
Or the long-armed lefty out of Old Dominion, where he was the Division I Defensive Player of the Year back in 2011. A 5-year senior. He graduated with 2 degrees, one in criminal justice, the other in human services.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. Clippers trail by 11. Here's Rivers to end the run. Uses both hands to slam it down.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunk's the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim record.
And here is Los Angeles now, following the 3 by Atlanta. And Green gets it to go. Atlanta leading by 10. Teague with the ball, picked up by Rivers. Teague can't hit.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Now here's Crawford. He kicks to Rivers. And it's Jeff Teague with the rebound.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game.
And, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you played and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
The Hawks leading by 8. And Heinrich has it in the corner. Back to Korver. There's the feed to Heinrich. Lets the 3 fly. And it would have counted had it fallen. And a chance to hear from DeAndre Jordan, who talks about the inspiration he drew from head coach.
Doc told me,
A strong case can be made that Jordan played like the defensive player of the year, Clark, this past season. And the fact that he didn't win it, looks like it'll keep him motivated.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I love the passion he plays with defensively. It seems like a burning fire in him, and Doc has stoked that fire with desire and inspiration. You've got to love how the passion to play defense burns in DeAndre. I'm putting you in. Let's go.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3 spot.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Al Horford is checked in for Splitter. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. And it's Teague in for Kyle Korver.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
And the Clippers call time here. Thinking about Doc Rivers being a leader, he was like that on the floor, Clark, as well. You know that. You went against him.
A leader and a winner, no doubt about it. And there have been a lot of coaches that came from his old Celtics team. And of all of them, perhaps the least surprising is Doc Rivers for the reasons we just mentioned. Leader and coach on the floor.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Blake Griffin. Their offense is most effective, Coach said, when he is most involved. And they're looking for total involvement from him for the rest of this game. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
Thank you, Doris. Hardaway's checked in for Dennis Schroeder. Hardaway. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Hardaway has got 5 now. Clippers trail by 10. Paul passes to Redick. He feeds it to Jordan. Pass to Paul. It's Redick on the wing with his first shot attempt. Here's Jordan, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And, Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
And for Blake Griffin last season, much more comfortable, Clark, shooting the mid-range jump shot to the point where he seemed to be actually looking for it during games.
Kevin, he's been working on that shot for a few years, and it's important to the scheme that he make it consistently the way the Clippers play. So when he doesn't, the defense can back off, clog the lane, and make that offense perimeter-oriented.
And back to Griffin's improved shooting. At first glance, the statistics disagree. He shot a career worst 50% from the field. But when you dig deeper, you see that his three-point and free throw percentages were career best, and that's where that improved range comes from. And also, he's taking more shots outside of the paint, which will also tend to drop that field goal percentage.
Picked by Griffin. Johnson outside from the baseline. That shot by Griffin, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him.
Horford sets a screen for T.
Talking about Griffin, now that he has confidence in his mid-range, Jay, to where it's automatic, especially in clutch situations. And two, keep developing confidence from the three-point line.
They should continue to get the ball inside.
Close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And Bazemore kicks to Hardaway. Hardaway is screen on Paul. And taken away by Paul. .125 left to play in the first half. Redick dishes to Jordan. 6 to shoot. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Blake Griffin.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
And Bazemore kicks to T. That doesn't go in either for T.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Paul passes to Griffin. There's 42 seconds left in the first half. Johnson dishes to Griffin. And it's sent back by Horford. Passes it to Hardaway. Atlanta again missing. And here are the Clippers. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Hardaway against Paul. And it's sent back by Horford. Johnson outside. Three-pointer. The shot is off. T. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Hawks lead by 2. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, Doc, as we get into the second half, what do you expect to see from this offense you're facing tonight?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So let's not let anyone get hot. That would be nice.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was Kyle Korver who got hot in the first. He had 8 points and 1 steal. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And over to Shaq. Now your take on the Clippers.
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
And now, your Atlanta Hawks.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
It's as if he can get to the rim any time he wants, and in that first half, he wanted to quite a bit.
And that's where his points were coming from. I mean, the defense has to do a much better job of challenging him at the rim.
Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Kyle Korver. And it's Bazemore at small forward. They're the group for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Feeds it to Redick. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity. 1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
Fast break, the Hawks. Harford's got the ball. Ba'amute with the steal. The pass to Griffin. Fires from 14. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 6 assists now in the game.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
Splitters checked in for Atlanta. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Atlanta shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
And Dennis Schroeder has drawn some comparison to Rajon Rondo. Long arms, very quick and athletic. He's awfully tough to keep in front of you, but he's also a guy that can knock down a mid-range jump shot.
Green, he's checked in for the Clippers. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. Here's Korver. Finished off the break. Korver's got 10 points in the game.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Paul kicks to Mba'amute. Back to Paul. Rejected by Millsap. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Schroeder. It's tipped. Paul against Splitter, and it's Paul penetrating. Misses from short range.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there. I'll tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide open shots like that.
A floater. Crawford, no luck. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements here. And he gets it to go.
How about the way he's able to... angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish.
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time. Boy, for Jamal Crawford, guys, it's been a really good career. Not many guys can maintain his level of quickness after 15 years in the league. I mean, but last season, he finally started to show a little wear and tear.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Teagan for Dennis Schroeder. The Clippers also making some changes. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Pierce comes in for Mba'amoute. And it's Rivers in for Chris Paul. And back to Crawford last season, he was down in field goal and three-point percentage. Plus, he battled with a calf injury that ultimately kept him out of 17, 18 games late in the year.
Yeah, Kevin, but his deep range spread the floor when he was out there. He still has that presence about him that you have to honor him. And he also hits some very timely shots. A dangerous assassin who always needs to be accounted for.
And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
The Hawks leading by 3. Corver. The rebound by Pierce.
But still, eventually, you got to feel like he'll start knocking those down again.
Crawford against T. And the foul on Mike Scott. That's his first foul. Chris Humphries has checked in for Splitter.
Substitution for Hawks. Chris Humphries.
Crawford drives in, and he makes good on the layup. Crawford's got 5 points so far.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Shoots from the baseline. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Clippers trail. Here's Green. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. 6 points for him. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Crawford right side from the arc. That one goes. Count it. Crawford's got the lead up to 4 now for Los Angeles.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, That can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
Teague for three. That's good. Teague's got 5 points in the quarter.
First three of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Crawford kicks to Pierce. Misses off the right iron.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Teague for three. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Oh, what a monster shot to close out the third. They've taken the lead going into the final quarter.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is up to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Here's Paul. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Mbamute in at the three. A nice shot by Teague. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Hawks.
Their defense has been outstanding, closing out on shots and blocking a few as well.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well. When they pulled up from mid-range, more often than not, they vary.
And that shot might not be the #1 option, but if the D will give it to you and you get it in rhythm, that's the one you take.
Mbamute with it. And Kyle Korver picks up the foul. That's his first foul for the Hawks. Splitter is checked in for Humphries. Millsap comes in for Scott. Hardaway is subbed in for Kyle Korver. Here's Redick. It's blocked. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Bazemore misses. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. And Redick kicks to Mbamute. Picked by Griffin. Mbamute, the pass to Griffin. Here's Redick. And it's Jordan with the jam.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Hey, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
A nice shot by Teague.
And you can just see he's a different player since coming back from halftime.
Clippers trail by 3. And it's Paul penetrating, dishes it to Redick. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Redick's got 5 points now this quarter.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a three-point battle taking shape here.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
All up top, Teague covering. Rejected by Teague. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. Redick dishes to Griffin. Over Millsap. The shot is off. And Atlanta will come the other way. Hardaway kicks to Teague. Back to Hardaway. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. To the left wing. 17-foot shot on the way. And Jeff Teague again. Now it's a 4-point Hawks lead. Paul against Teague. Paul outside. Got a hand on it.
And not a night he's going to want to remember. Just not really able to score the basketball.
Bazemore misses.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist from Redick. And that's 12 points for Chris Paul.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He's going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
Atlanta calls timeout. Catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team. He told his squad, listen, guys, it's close. It's about execution here. If we do that, I like our chances. No hero ball, just trust each other and make the simple play. Kevin?
And it's a completely new group for Atlanta. Here is Mbamute, and he misses the go-ahead basket. Hawks have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Mbamute with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. Chris Paul again. Paul's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Schroeder kicks to Scott. Heinrich inside the three-point line. Off the left rim and out.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
To take the lead, it's tipped. That's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here. Los Angeles calls timeout. Here's Griffin. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
Paul, no one around him. He's scorching hot. Paul's got 6 in the quarter. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
And Mbah-a-Moute. And it's off from three-point range. The Hawks trail by 4. And stolen by Jordan. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Paul Millsap is checked in for Scott. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Kirk Heinrich. And it's Teague in for Dennis Schroeder. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter. And Griffin, here we go. Good work defensively by Horford. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. For the 3, Millsap. Chris Paul grabs the miss.
And that shot isn't the one they should be taking if they want to make this comeback happen. His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
T kicks to Korver to end the drought. Yes!